completely detached from reality. Is it obvious yet that the manipulation and the money pushers are the king of the market? Hey everybody, JJ here. Bolt to the Bust. It is February 4th, Tuesday. Hope everyone is well. Just like we told you, the market has recovered and recovered bigly. Dow Jones up over 400 points. S&P up over 48 points, about 1.5% also on the NASDAQ. This is what you get in a manipulated market. Despite the rumors and the reports that there's going to be a global extinction event with the virus, it does not matter in a manipulated market. This market will go up when they want it to go up, and when they want to bring it down, they will bring it down. So we just need to prepare and try to analyze what the time frame is going to be on this. There are people out there that say that they're just going to keep on supporting the market forever, that there's never going to be another recession because it's all manipulated. Well, yes, it is manipulated, but do you really think the manipulators behind the curtain there are going to want to keep this market going up forever? Or do they get rich and do they gain more wealth when markets crash? And when you see these boom and bust cycles, I think you know the answer just by the name of this channel. But a lot of people out there still are not understanding. For example, when I said that the market was not going to crash, and I'm not talking about a 400 or 600 point down day in the stock market. I'm talking about an entire stock market crash where it goes down to, or it drops by 50 or 70%. You know, what we saw in the financial crisis. I'm not talking about a one day sell off when I mean crash. People out there saying that I was wrong, that the market's going to crash, that this is the end game event, that the virus was going to spread throughout the world. But yet, even as of today, weeks after the virus outbreak was announced and the scare was pushed out there to everybody, still more people are dying from the flu than the coronavirus. Right? Even as of right now, more people are dying from the flu versus the coronavirus. Now, you could say it's being underreported, and I hear you. I don't believe everything that comes out of especially China. But when you look at the market recovery today, you can see that the manipulation is going to continue. And maybe the scare will get worse and maybe other things will happen. Right? I expect things to unfold this year in 2020 that are going to be biblical. Right? So we have not seen anything yet. Just wait until you see what's going to unfold this year. It's going to be massive. It's going to be hysteria. But the markets can still be propped up. The markets will not drop. There will not be a major correction or a crash until they are ready to bring it down. All right, so we're up in the mid 400s on the Dow. All indexes are up. Gold actually getting hit. We're down to 1554. Oil up slightly at about $50.59, almost a 1% gain today. Oil had a big drop though in the past few days as the global economy slows, and we'll see how they can prop up these oil prices as well. So I expect oil to be propped up again, just like they're propping up the stock market. Now, some recent news is that oil bankruptcies have skyrocketed. So U.S. and Canadian oil company bankruptcies surged 50% in 2019. Now, falling oil prices, just like a tumbling stock market, could cause the overall economy to slide into recession. So I do feel like they're going to try to prop oil up, expect events that happen that are going to keep crude oil elevated, including events in the Middle East. Now, it just so happens that the U.S. now is the world's largest exporter of oil. We took over the number one spot here just in the past few years, and we passed up Saudi Arabia, we passed up Russia. And it's pretty interesting that every time we start to see oil decline, we see some events happen in the Middle East. The big scare would be if we start seeing events happen here in the United States, seeing that we are the number one exporter of oil in the world now. Could we be the target of one of these scare events in order to prop up the oil markets. We'll have to see. I hope not. Anything that does happen on a major scale, I feel will still be corrected. We'll probably see a drop and then ultimately more manipulation back to the upside. Take a look what is happening to home ownership rates. Even though home prices are now at all-time highs and home prices are beyond the housing bubble peak that we saw 11 years ago, almost 12 years ago now, home ownership is increasing. So that tells you that more people are getting qualified for mortgages and less institutional buyers are in the market right now. What does that tell you? When institutions stop buying and when investors pull back, and when owner occupants are the majority buyers, you see home ownership increase. And here we are now, home ownership rate is the highest now since 2013. So what do you think about that? Again, it would have been a better time for homeowners to come in and buy homes en masse after the prices corrected for a brief period back in 2009. And expect this to continue throughout the year as more people get qualified for mortgages, as the underwriting guidelines continue to deteriorate and they continue to pull back regulations, continue to lower interest rates. The Fed is going to continue to be active in the market and push mortgage rates as low as possible, probably even to new all-time lows before the end of 2020. I would not be surprised, and actually I really think that is likely to happen. And we see here another report. Loan applications to buy homes climbs to an 11-year high. An 11-year high. So we have record numbers of people looking to get themselves locked into a 30-year mortgage at this point in the economic cycle. We have to ask ourselves, is now the best time for this surge and this demand for people to buy homes? Considering the record amounts of stimulus that are taking place right now, considering the record low interest rates that have led to this financial bubble that we are in right now. What else is happening? Well, despite more people having health insurance, more people still can't afford U.S. doctors. That's right. Even more people are insured. Even though more people are insured, less people can afford to get medical care. Why? Because prices keep rising. The healthcare providers are going to continue to raise prices because they know that the more people that get insurance, they're guaranteed to get paid for it. But now even the co-pays and the deductibles in these hospital visits and emergency room visits and doctor visits, they're becoming too much for people to bear. So people, even though they have health insurance, are choosing more and more to not go to the doctor even though they need to. Maybe they're injured or maybe they're ill. And I'll read an excerpt out of this report here. Over the past 2 decades, the proportion of U.S. adults without insurance dropped to 14.8% from 16.9%. So the people without insurance dropped, so more people are insured with health insurance, but out-of-pocket costs made doctors too expensive for the uninsured, of course, but also costs kept people with coverage from seeking physicians even when they had chronic medical conditions requiring regular checkups. So how insane is this? So of course you know when more people have insurance, what are the hospitals going to do? What are the medical providers going to do? They're going to raise the prices. I'll compare it to the student loans. When the government backs everyone getting a student loan, the institutions, the universities, they're going to raise their prices because they have a guaranteed buyer. The same thing with health insurance. You have a guaranteed payment from the health insurance company. Let's raise prices. And this prices people out that don't have insurance. It makes it even worse for them. People that are uninsured that have a medical event or a sickness, they get bankrupted very quickly because of the skyrocketing costs. So we have to ask ourselves, is insurance the answer? Just like is bank rescue operations, is that the answer? Is bailouts, is that the answer to the problems? Or is it just compounding the problem to make it even worse? Right? So when you create demand via guaranteeing loans, guaranteeing insurance, prices are going to rise, and the people that are not insured are going to be priced out. The copays are going to go up, so even people that have insurance are going to end up paying more. When home prices go up, you see higher property taxes. When the cost of education goes up, the people that don't want to take on massive student loan debt cannot go to school because the prices are just too high. So you're basically forced to go into debt just to keep up with the Joneses. And again, this is something that's not going to end well. It's going to end very bad. And again, I said this earlier, we're going to see historic events unfold in the next year. Now, I think they're going to try to push it out until after the election. Maybe they'll be successful. I think they likely could be. But I think we all need to prepare because this economic collapse is headed our way. The financial crisis is going to start unfolding. We're going to see more and more signs. But don't be surprised if you see, again, record home prices continue to go even higher as more people rush into the markets with the fear of missing out really taking hold now at this phase in the economy. And we usually see this at the hyper stage of economic booms. We see the Fomo, people rushing in, people ultra confident. They feel like there can never be a correction. It's a new economic high, or it's a new plateau, is what they call it. The ever rising market will correct, and it's going to be brutal. And I think we need to prepare. But thanks everybody for watching this report. Hope to see you again here soon. Bye for now.